So I'm going to read an essay tonight, and this is called Day of the Dead. Did you know that Grandma is a witch? My cousin Alex told me. Why do you think we're never allowed in her special room? When I asked my mother about this, she confirmed that Grandma is indeed a witch. Not the bad kind, though. A good one. A white witch, she said. A white witch, I learned, is unlike a regular witch who casts spells or creates smoky, colorful potions. They're more similar to a healer and have abilities to contact people from the spiritual world, including the dead. My brother Gilbert once told me that he sometimes would see our grandma fly around on a broom, especially when she needed to go shopping. I always imagined my grandmother parallel parking her broom once she got to the store. When I was a child, I had to get surgery to have a tumor removed. A day before the surgery, my mother took me to my grandma's house, where I was forced to drink tea that looked like crude oil. Then I was rubbed down with different herbs and massaged while my grandma said weird things in pig Latin. If I didn't know any better, I would have thought that I was going to be used as a sacrifice to a pagan god. Everything went smoothly the next day. Alex gave all the credit to my witch grandma. For as long as I can remember, ghosts, or the possibility of them, has always run in my family. We used to live in Florida for a period of time. We lived in a house that, according to my parents, was haunted. Loud noises could be heard at night, things would move, and nothing was as it seemed. Later, after we moved out, we learned from the landlord that his son had committed suicide in the home. My Aunt Eva was a heavy user of the Ouija board. During a party once, someone brought a Ouija board, and she started using it to talk to different spirits. We asked her all kinds of questions like, who will be the first in the family to have a baby? And then, carefully guiding the flat little piece of wood, the board would spell out the answer. Gilbert, she said. For the rest of the night, we all asked questions and received answers until my aunt started shaking and collapsed. After we helped her up, she started to cry and said, "It's just too much." I was mesmerized. Growing up, I never had my own room. I always had to share space with Gilbert. Often we'd stay up late, laying in the dark, telling one another stories. Sometimes the stories were funny, but more often than not, we told scary ones. One of our favorites was the story about La Llorona, the weeping woman. As I understand it, there was once a woman who married a man, and they had a couple of children. They were a happy little family until the man said he no longer cared to be with the woman. In a state of rage, the woman took their young children to a river, where she proceeded to drown them, and then herself. When she applied to get into heaven, God denied her because of what she had done. Now the woman can be seen after dark crying out for her children. Nowadays, I too turn into La Llorona when my train is delayed, or when my favorite cafe runs out of bagels. It's just not fair, I want to cry. The closest I've ever come to seeing a ghost was in 7th grade. I, along with my classmates, were waiting outside the classroom because our teacher hadn't arrived. The lights were out, but the door was unlocked. Juan Flores and Luis, the two troublemakers of our class, decided to go into the room and horse around. They went in, and a minute later they both ran out with a look of despair on their faces. "What happened?" we asked. Luis told us that while in class, Juan put him in a headlock, and as he tried to wrestle out of it, they both saw a white figure staring at them from the other side of the room. Something about their faces was unsettling, and I would later come to recognize it as genuine fear. I recognized the same expression of fear when my cousin Dito told me that my Aunt Terry's house is also haunted. He said he would often see a ghost walking around the house. One time, I saw the ghost in the kitchen. It went into our fridge and proceeded to make a sandwich. We only had bologna though, no ham. So the ghost got mad and broke a chair, he told me. As a kid, I didn't see anything wrong with this story and took every word to be true. I guess I like the idea of a ghost making a sandwich as it strips away all of its scary qualities. I think this is the type of ghost I would be. I'd wander into people's homes, see what they have to eat, watch a little bit of TV, and then go on about my little business. My pleasure would come from the retelling of the story from the person who saw me. First, he went into our pantry and ate all of our cookies. And then he went into the living room and started watching reruns of House Hunters International. Ultimately, once the lights go out, all bets are off. And if you're anything like me, you'll tell yourself that the sounds of approaching footsteps are a ghost who is helping himself to a sandwich. Or that sound of a laughing child is the ghost who is reading your diary. Maybe the noises are from Grandma parallel parking her broom. The playful thinking allows you to fall asleep, and it's all that really stands between peace and full-blown terror. Thank you very much.